God, I loved it. I'll send you a copy. Bam! Bitch went down.
Welcome to Horror Queers, where Joe and I, two queer men, talk about queer things and queer horror. Not always queer horror, sometimes just horror. And that's our spiel. Hi, Joe. How are you doing today?
That's so many concessions. It's like, it could be horror, but maybe not. And it could be queer, but maybe not.
Well, maybe it won't be horror one day. Who knows? I mean, I'm sure if any of our Bloody Disgusting readers come over to this podcast, we'll cover something and they're going to be like, well, that's not technically horror. Pushing glasses up on their nose.
Yes, because all of the people who read our column are glasses-wearing assholes.
Well, I always imagine whenever there's like a douchebag troll in the comments. Do you watch South Park?
Mm-hmm.
All right, the World of Warcraft episode where it's like the guy at his computer and he's like kind of slumped back, like typing on his computer while he's playing Warcraft. That's exactly how I imagine all trolls look like when I talk to them.
Fair enough. Whereas my callback is more old school. I go with the comic book guy from The Simpsons, where he's like, I just saw something I didn't like, and I'm immediately going online to register my discontent.
Oh my god, no. Like, you have to think about them being like these hideous blob people. It's the funniest thing. I mean, comic book guy kind of works, but I mean, the South Park guy totally works. How are you doing, Joe?
I'm doing okay. Yeah, I feel a little bit bad that I made you watch a not great movie, but you know what? I'm going to stick with my guns. I pick fun ones, and I'm not going to apologize for that.
I haven't seen this movie since it came to VHS. I remember my mom rented it from Blockbuster because it was one of the few PG-13 thrillery movies we could see. And gotta say, kind of shocked that it was PG-13.
Yeah, there's some decidedly non-PG-13 things. By the way, we're talking Swimfan 2002.
Oh,
just in case people didn't look at the title of this episode.
Yes. So, I'm just going to dive right in. We are discussing Swimfan.
Yes.
Released September 6, 2002. We're in a post-9/11 world here. And it was distributed by 20th Century Fox. And it is PG-13. Opened... Here's shame on you, America. Opened in the number one rank with granted it was only $11.3 million, but it went on to gross $28.6 million on a budget of $10 million. So this movie made almost 3 times its money back.
Mm-hmm.
Adjusted gross, by the way, is $44.9 million. So I mean, for today. Again,
still not bad. Shame
on you, America, especially after we just came off Jennifer's Body, which did not make even that much money in $2009. Anyway, so this movie was not very well received upon its initial release, and I don't think it would I don't even think it would be well received today.
No.
Its Rotten Tomatoes score is 14%. With an average of 3.9 out of 10. Now, the audience score is a little bit better. 32% of audiences liked it, giving it a score of 2.5 out of 5. So that's basically a 5 out of 10. I don't know why they do that differently, where like the critic score is out of 10 and the audience score is out of 5. That's really stupid. Metacritic score of 29 out of 100 with a user score of 2.1 out of 10. So no one really likes this movie.
No.
Directed by John Polson, whose only notable film is the Dakota Fanning and Robert De Niro starring Hide and Seek from, I think, 2005? I could be wrong. Writers...
Come back next week for Corrections Corner.
Yeah, right. No, I'm admitting that might not be correct, and I'm not going to look that up. I'm not going to give that movie the dignity of my click on its IMDb page.
So this guy basically has 2 shit movies to his credit.
Yeah, I mean, he'd done a couple of other things, but nothing that I could really... That rang a bell for me. And I'd like to think that I have a moderate knowledge of film. So that says something. This film had 2 writers. I don't know how, but it had 2 writers. Charles Bowl and Philip Schneider, and notable films is nothing. I don't think they had anything really outstanding to do.
Wow. Swing and a miss.
I know. Starring teen heartthrob Jesse Bradford, who many people might know from Bring It On, Clockstoppers, and his opening kill scene in Cherry Falls. Spoiler alert if you have not seen Cherry Falls.
I did not remember that at all. When you sent me the fact sheet, I was like, really? He's in Cherry Falls? That did not ring a bell at all.
Yeah, because I saw Cherry Falls for the first time fairly recently, and by that I mean like in the last like 3 or 4 years probably. So I remember when I watched it, I was like really shocked that he was in it. He did appear in an episode of TV Land's Teachers last year, which I was kind of happy to see him. Also starring Erika Christensen, who I guess this is one of her earlier movies, but she had done Traffic before this, which I have never seen.
Oh, it's excellent, and she's excellent in it.
I've heard, but I guess that was her big, like her star-making role. Then she did this.
Yeah.
And then she did The Banger Sisters around the same time too, which is a very underrated movie. I mean, it's not good, but like it's funny. And then most people, if you're not a horror fan, might know her as one of the leads in Parenthood, the TV show, which is super great. And then we also have Sherry Appleby, who at the time was about to be done with Roswell. I think this movie came out like right after Roswell ended. And she's also in The Devil's Candy. And she was in the recently deceased Unreal TV show from Lifetime that went to Hulu for its final season.
She's really good in that show, though.
She is super good in it. The show kind of went downhill after the first season, but really, really good.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's kind of the gist with Swimfan. Joe, do you want to tell me why you made me sit through this garbage?
Okay, so let me give you a little bit of backstory with my Swimfan experience. I was trying to remember whether or not I had seen this in the theater, and I don't believe I did. I'm pretty sure this is one of those movies where you see the ads, you read the 25 different taglines that are available, and you say, I'm going to wait for video. So I think I saw this on video, and the reason I sought it out was principally because I do think he's super cute. I really liked him in Bring It On. I had a huge crush on him in Bring It On.
Well, I mean, the toothbrush scene is kind of like iconic in Bring It On. Like that's probably Jesse Bradford at his most adorable.
He's such a regular kind of guy. Like he looks very boy next door, like the kind of person that you might actually meet on the street. But he also has an inherent likability to him. Like he does have a certain star quality.
He does. His character in this movie is dumb as a stump, and I found him not that likable. But yeah, sure, go ahead.
So this film is not making good use of most of its actors. Now, you did leave a couple of people off the call sheet.
Yeah.
So Josh, his really shitty best friend, who seems to just be in competition with him all the time, is played by Clayne Crawford Jr., who was on a fantastic TV show called Rectify for a number of years. And then he just got his ass fired from Lethal Weapon for being apparently a huge fucking dick.
Yes, and I don't watch Lethal Weapon. I heard, honestly, by the time I considered deciding to watch it was when all that drama with him was going down. And now I guess Damon Wayans is also leaving the show. But yes, you're right. I thought that was the same guy because I'd read the headlines about how much of a douchebag he was.
So he's kind of notable. And then Jesse Bradford's mom is also Meredith Grey's mom from Grey's Anatomy.
I know. Or if you watch Scandal, Vice President Sally Langston, who honestly, when I was making the call sheet, I didn't even put her on it. I didn't like recognize her name, Kate Burton, and I feel stupid for not recognizing it because I know this woman. I mean, I don't know her, but like I know her.
And then Dan Hedaya is the swim coach teacher.
Yeah, given nothing to do in this movie, like absolutely nothing.
Oh, no. And I mean, the mom has nothing to do either. Like, Kate Burton is criminally underused. She's basically there to be a pawn.
Who also has nothing to do in this movie is Jason Ritter. And
yes,
I'm looking at this call sheet now and realize I put Bride of Chucky on his thing. And that was not Jason Ritter. That was John Ritter.
No.
So I don't know what I was thinking. Jason Ritter was in Freddy vs. Jason.
There we go.
Also, he was in Parenthood with Erika Christensen, which is one of the 3 facts on IMDb about this movie.
No, so to backtrack. Yeah, I mean, Jesse Bradford was probably the main reason that I was interested in the film. And it's kind of, I mean, if we're being honest, it's the same reason that I made us watch The Brotherhood and The Covenant last year for one of our horror queers pieces on Bloody Disgusting. Because it's hot boys in Speedos and there's like dumb horror elements to it.
There are.
What I had forgotten was that this movie is a pile of shit.
Here's the thing. This movie has the capability, and there are fleeting moments of trash, and specifically, though, from Erika Christensen. I think Erika Christensen acquits herself pretty well in this movie.
she's trying real hard.
She is, and good for her. And she does what she needs to do. I wish that she had more crazy things to do than like put steroids in him, in him, or like switch out the pills at the hospital.
You mean prescription steroids?
Yeah, prescription steroids. Sorry. By the way, I realize if anyone listening doesn't know what this movie is about, it's basically Fatal Attraction with teenagers. That is all you need to know about this movie.
Yeah. So before we started recording, you and I had a quick conversation offline where we just said this episode is basically just going to be us reading our incredulous notes back and forth to each other. And that's like 100% of it's like, oh, this is baby Fatal Attraction or baby single white female. But I don't know why it isn't more fun and why it isn't better than
that's the thing. But okay, so I woke up on a Saturday and I was hungover and I watched this movie because I spent $10 fucking on this DVD because it's not available on Blu-ray.
Well, that's your fault.
I know. And when I finished it, I immediately started the commentary and I was going to watch it again because it's only 85 minutes. I mean, it's not like actually, I'm sorry. It's only 85 minutes, but it does feel a little bit longer than that. So I got about 20 minutes in. And because the commentary is the director and Jesse Bradford and Erika Christensen. And I was like, oh, like this might be like a pretty interesting commentary. The commentary is a big circle jerk. It's basically like congratulating each other on all the things that they did right in the movie without.
What?
Yes.
Are they high?
I know.
Is there a gas leak in the room where they're recording?
But you have to think about it though. I mean, like Erika Christensen, like this is one of her first big movie roles, and what's she gonna say? Like, man, you really directed a shit movie, John Paulson. And Jesse Bradford, he had just done Bring It On.
Yeah.
And then the director, this I think. Again, without looking at his IMDb score, Hide and Seek came after this. So I don't think he really did anything before this that was really notable. And it was kind of the early days of DVD when commentaries were a thing. I mean, it was 2002. So, I mean, I'm sure they're not going to actually like try to fuck over the studio or like whatever and try to analyze their movie with a critical eye. But man, I'm telling you, it was a boring ass commentary. Like, oh, look at that shot. Oh, that editing was really good. Oh, side note though, the woman who did the editing does all the editing for Sofia Coppola's films.
Oh, wow.
Sarah Flack.
So she stepped up her game.
Well, but even like, yeah. So yeah, she did Lost in Translation, Marie Antoinette, The Beguiled. So I didn't notice any great editing moments in this movie, except when Erika Christensen's character has her moments of psychosis.
Yes.
And she does a lot of jump cuts during those moments. And I actually did write down that was effective before I realized who did the editing.
It was going to be overused. Or it was the only interesting thing.
Yeah, it's the only, but it's not even like an innovative thing. It's just kind of like, oh yeah, obviously jump cuts, like her fragmented psyche or fractured psyche. It makes sense. And when it first happens though, it's pretty cool. But yeah, then it just keeps happening over and over and over again.
Yeah. So my story of when I did the rewatch on this, I watched it over the holidays and I ended up watching it in 2 different parts because I was on a long train ride.
Oh.
So I watched the first part of it basically up to the part where she seduces him and he gives in far too easily in the pool. And I don't know, that's probably about, what do you think, 20 minutes, 25 minutes in?
Yeah, no, because I remember when you told me about it, you said, hey, like, I'm so sorry I made you watch this. But honestly, after about 25 minutes, it gets crazy. And I clocked it. And yeah, I think the sex scene is about 24, 25 minutes into the movie. And you are right. He gives in way too easily. Like, I actually really like the setup, like, when he goes to her house. But yeah, like, he has, like, one scene with her, then he takes her to get food because she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm just so weak. It's probably because I haven't eaten. Cut to them in a diner. Like, okay, if that's me, I'm like, okay, bitch, go eat something in your giant mansion kitchen. Like, I don't know what to tell you, but he brings her, like, he sets himself up for this shit real easily.
But honestly, before that point, I didn't think that the movie was actually that bad. Like, they were doing a lot of setup with the foreshadowing where, you see his tenuous relationship with the cop when he's driving to school. They set up the fact that he's got a big swim meet coming up. They set up that he's got a good relationship with his girlfriend, that he's got a slightly adversarial relationship with his friend Josh. And I'm like, you know what? This film is actually, like, it's setting a bunch of things up that are obviously going to pay off. So it's not, hiding anything. Like, there's no big twist coming. And she's, obviously introduced in a slightly unusual way. And you're kind of like, wait, what's going on with this chick? But as soon as the pool scene happens, like as soon as they sleep together, it's almost like maybe one writer left the project and another person came on and they were told, just insert as much crazy shit as you can think of that isn't that crazy, and we'll just pad the rest of the film.
Here's an example, though, of like something where it's something that, based again on the 20 minutes of commentary that I listened to, of like how the director feels about this movie and like what I guess he was going for. So in the scene where he sees Madison for the first time and she's, at her locker and she's like, oh, like I locked myself out of my locker. Can you help me? And she has her hairpin that magically unlocks the locker. I guess originally there was music playing over like that scene and it was very ominous, which I thought that could be like a fun campy moment, because I mean people have seen this trailer if they're going to see this movie, and the trailer shows literally every part of the movie, even the climax, with some real fun metal music playing in the background.
Oh my God.
But he was like, yeah, we just thought that it might be a little too obvious if we put this music in there, so we decided to remove music from the scene. And then Erika Christensen's like, oh yeah, I think that's like really smart, like a really like wise decision, blah, 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 blah. And the director's like, yeah, I mean, like, we wanted to kind of keep the audience on their toes. And I'm like, girl, no one was on their toes watching this movie. Like, come on. Why don't you just do like a bum, bum, bum? Like, just do it. It's just fun.
And then when things do actually get crazy, like, okay, so let's just get into this. Let's talk about the crazy, in air quotes, shit that happens in this film. Yeah. Because, like, no one dies. There's one person who dies in this movie.
Well, but I will say that the discovery of Clayne Crawford, I cannot believe his name is Clayne. The discovery of Clayne Crawford's body, I actually did like, because it's Jesse Bradford swimming in the pool and his head bumps up against Clayne Crawford's head, like corpse head. Mm-hmm. That was cool. That's the most good things I'll say about this movie.
Yeah, I mean, but God, okay.
They're basically saying that there's no puppies being thrown off of apartment buildings, is what you're saying, and there's no bunnies being boiled. You wanted more of that.
She's just like, she's not crazy enough. She sets out to sabotage his life. Okay, so as we've said, he's up for this big swim meet, and he's got a girlfriend that's willing to try to keep the relationship alive at a nearby university when they both graduate from high school. Right. Okay, typical high school shit. So obviously something is going to go down with the swim meet, and something is going to go down with the girlfriend. And then we learn that he's got some kind of tortured history with drugs or behavioral problems, and he got arrested, and it was swimming that saved him. So that's all fine.
You can't see this right now, but I'm making like a jack off motion with my hands.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's screenwriting 101. It's, set up all of these different things so that she can then reduce this man with her horrible female wiles, because he's just so insatiable and so, everything that you could ever want in a man, and it's willing to kill and be killed to get him for reasons unknown.
Right.
But, yeah, essentially, I wanted, as you said, I don't think she does a bad job, but I wanted the film to take it further.
I think what hurts it is that it's about teenagers. Actually, no, that's not even the case, though, but because she clearly has no guardian at all in this movie. Because she just goes wherever the fuck she wants. And then her cousin is played by that guy from Cabin Fever who played Bert. And he has glasses in this movie to let you know that he's like a nerdy loser outcast. But, like, okay. Let's run down like what she does that is quote unquote crazy. I mean, sorry, it is all crazy, but like, what does she do? She, goes and meets his mom after they fuck for the first time. I'm sorry, they fuck for the only time. He has a part-time job at a hospital, and she switches like the pills in the cups and, almost kills a patient. Mm-hmm. She somehow sneaks in prescription steroids into him, thereby getting him kicked off the swim team.
Yeah. And then it escalates, and that's when she kills Josh.
Yeah, because Josh realizes that everything Ben... Is it Ben? Is that his name?
It's Ben.
Ben. That Ben had been saying about her was true, and then... and they don't even show her kill him, which sucks. Like, because I don't really believe that this bitch could overpower this guy to the point where she would kill him.
Or somehow get his body into an underground swimming pool.
With no one seeing her!
And there's never a lifeguard on duty at that pool.
I don't even think there was like a lifeguard station. Like, there wasn't even a place for one, so they clearly didn't think they needed one.
As someone who swims regularly, I can tell you, Ben would never have been allowed to go into that pool in off hours without any other supervision around. Like, you can't get into the pool if you don't have a lifeguard or someone isn't there to let you in, like an adult. It doesn't matter how good a swim star he is.
Especially in a school, though. I mean, like, it's a school. And it's not even like a college-y, like, school. I mean, it's a high school. This is a high school.
Well, supposedly this is a high school. I actually had to look it up whether or not they had as many locations as they show in the film, because I was 100% convinced that the school and the hospital were the same set. It turns out they're not, but they literally look identical. Because when they're walking the halls of the school, it looks like it's another floor of the hospital. And they apparently are like, they must be connected because he can just run from the hospital after he gets fired for almost killing that guy to accost her in the library where she's practicing her cello playing. Because that's where you practice cello.
Yeah.
In the library.
Well, yeah, that cello bullshit. The movie doesn't look expensive, but I mean, like, $10 million, that's probably like $15 million today. That's 3 times as much as a Blumhouse movie. And Blumhouse movies released right now look infinitely better than the way this movie looks.
Mm-hmm. Like, that pool looks like the pool from Jennifer's Body after they pulled a couple of twigs out of the wall.
Yeah, it does.
Like, it's an underground pool. What the fuck?
No, it's stupid.
Okay, so she kills Josh.
Yes. Oh, sorry. And before that, she befriends the girlfriend, the Sherry Appleby. She befriends Amy. One thing that I actually did like, though, was when she left the flower in his locker, and he thought it was from Amy. And then he brought it to her, and she was like, "Oh, is that for me?" And like, he's like, yeah. Ooh. And then when he meets her at the party, and she's like, "Oh, like, let me show you my new friend Madison," and it's fucking Erika Christensen, and she's got that damn flower in her ear. I did think that was kind of a nice touch.
Yeah. See, that to me worked better than I left my panties in your truck, and then he's got to like run out there and stop her just before Amy finds them.
Okay, so I think the word panties is a really gross word. And so she sets it up. So okay, Sherry Appleby has to run out to the car to get something from his car. I don't remember what it was. And so after she leaves, Erika Christensen's like, I think I left my panties in your car. What? My panties. I think I left my panties in your car. My panties. And I'm like, girl, how many times?
One of Trace's eyes just starts like darting off to the side every time.
I was just like, how many times are you going to say panties? Ugh. But yeah, no, again, like, yes, I wish that she was written more crazy. She had more crazy things to do. But man, there are some things that she does with that performance that it's just really funny. And it is kind of how bad that dialogue is. Like the aforementioned, "Oh, I guess I haven't eaten lately." But that's my Erika Christensen impersonation, by the way.
Ouch.
I know. I'm sorry, Miss Christensen. But yeah, what other crazy? So yeah, she kills Josh. Oh, she has a shrine in her room, the obligatory, psycho stalker shrine. There's a backstory about her where she had a boyfriend, and they don't really go into it that much. She had a boyfriend who she alludes to earlier where like she's like, "Oh, I have someone waiting for me back in New York," but it's because he's in a coma. Hardy har har.
Which, by the way, so how is Ben then able to go and visit him?
I had in my notes, I was like, how do these people
like, did they move him out there to be closer to his girlfriend? Like, because that don't make no sense.
Well, and also how the nurse is like, "Who are you? Who are you? Who are you?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm a friend of the family." And she goes, "Oh, okay. Bye." Like, I don't think that's
but only after conveniently name dropping Madison as the girlfriend.
Yes, exactly. No, does he? No, because then she's like, "Oh yeah, the girlfriend survived." So I don't think he even name drops her. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, the nurse does. The nurse is like, "That Madison girl."
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
Just in case you couldn't figure out that the girlfriend is Madison.
Which, though, because the opening credits, I don't know if you remember this, but it's the brilliant editing by Miss Sarah Flack. The opening credits is shots of that room and like the baseball trophies or whatever. Because and that's also the weird thing too. So she's in love with jocks, but she moves from like one sport to another. So was she like baseball fan or something in her past, school life?
Well, it seemed to me that she has a type because Josh and Ben look very similar. But
I couldn't even tell you what Josh looked like.
He looks exactly like Jesse Bradford.
Maybe it was Jesse Bradford. They just put like a brown wig on him or something.
Oh, it's like a secret twin movie. How much better would that be?
That would have been way better.
It's like, I'm just going around tracking guys who look like you and murdering them.
Yes.
It's like The One.
Yeah. Shit. But yeah, so I mean, like, I guess, yeah, so she was in a relationship with this guy, something happened, and then she caused the car wreck that put this guy in a coma. But she was wearing a seatbelt, so she came out fine. But that's kind of it. I don't know. Like, I kind of would have liked more backstory with that. But, you know, whatever. It's only 85 minutes. The clock is ticking.
So moving on to the other fun things that she does, she sends him more than 80 topless photos that he decides to open at the public library in the school.
Not sexy photos either. I mean, like, she's topless, but her face is just her staring, like, away. like through the screen, not making, like, it's like a dead face. It's not sexy.
Yeah, no.
I did love how slowly it took for the picture to materialize on the screen, though. That's some good 2002 school internet for you.
Can we do a sidebar of the scariest thing about this film is all of the outdated technology and how it's used for scares?
It's
like
so
the MSN
bad.
Messenger style chat and the pager warning.
Well, dude, the pager. Okay, I don't think high school kids had pagers, did they? I mean, you're older than I am, so did you have a pager when you were in high school?
Way to work that one in.
I know.
Yes, there actually were affluent kids who had pagers because it was like an early version of a cell phone.
Jesus, yeah. So I missed that boat. Thank God.
But imagine, like, so for that to work, what she had to do was go to a payphone or a landline and put in that message in a threatening fashion.
Wait, like,
so that it would then show up for him on the pager.
But wait, you can't, like, page someone from a pager?
No, it doesn't have that capacity.
Oh, I thought that's what those were. I thought you would, like, whenever I watch, like any medical show, like Grey's Anatomy or something, I always thought that pagers paged other pagers. I mean, I guess there's no text, like there's no buttons on them. Oh.
No, it's literally just a screen that receives messages.
Oh, wow. That actually makes this whole movie a lot less... I don't... What? You're like blowing my mind right now with this pager thing. So
like imagine her being like, all right, I gotta go send this threatening message and be like, shit, where's the landline?
Oh my God. Well, and there's a lot of payphones in this movie too, I feel like, too, where he's like running out of cash.
Oh yeah, that's the best part. Mom, you need to get her out of that hospital. She's crazy. You need to insert 25 more cents.
Yes,
and technology is the true horror in this movie.
And that's the thing too. I mean, like, obviously any movie, especially from this time period and that transition from like whatever that was to the cell phone age, it's gonna be dated immediately. But like, it doesn't. For movies that rely so much on technology like this one does, it sticks out so much more than, like, you know, watching Halloween when they have just the rotary phone. It's like, oh, it's a rotary phone, like, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, did you notice, too, in the trailer, and it might be in the credits, whenever the people's names were, like, the actors' names were put on screen, it would be their name followed by the @ sign.
Oh, no.
And I was watching, and I was like, wait, so what did that mean back then, though? So obviously, like, now, you know, it's the @ symbol and the name, it's the Twitter handle, but, like, was that a thing back then? Like, to put the @ symbol after a name, would that do something?
Yeah, so it would have been the equivalent of, like an AOL name. Or like in your instant messenger kind of name.
Jesus. Oh, God. This sounds like a terrible time to, like, be a teenager. I mean, I say that I was 13 when this came out.
Yeah, I mean, like, this wouldn't have been completely out of your sphere of influence in terms of knowing what the technology was, but the way that it gets used in a threatening fashion is beyond an everyday experience.
I just can't get her shit to go to a payphone to send a threatening message.
You had to work a lot harder to intimidate people back then.
Well, so then maybe she, I mean, like, maybe that's crazy enough. I mean, she's clearly crazy. She has all this free time to go be doing all this shit, sending threatening pager messages, 81 emails. And also, imagine if all of those emails contained her naked picture. Imagine how long that took to send.
Because those are not digital pictures.
No.
Either.
No. So she would
have had to scan them. She has to go to Robin Williams' 1 hour photo, get these processed, and then be like, please feed these into the computer so I can email them.
And I bet she's crazy that they're not all the same picture. They're all different photos, even if it's like just a slightly different angle. So she's got to then do 81 of these fucking photos, go scan them. Maybe she has to scan it. That's great. But it takes her fucking ever to do it. And then attach it to this email and then wait for it to send through dial-up.
Yeah. And I don't know about you, but if you've got even remotely high-res photos, you can't attach 80 of them all at once. Like, you've got to send basically 80 individual emails. So she's like waiting, opening, attaching, waiting, buffering, spinning wheel. Okay, it's attached, send. Okay, next one, open it up.
That girl stayed up all night, did not do any of her homework, and just sent emails. That's all she was doing.
Which maybe we should respect her more if you think about this. She's clearly a straight A student, and she plays the cello for a bunch of old ladies at a recital. So she's pretty good at cello, and she's pretty good at killing people. So,
well, and actually, that's what I was going to say too. So you say that she doesn't really kill anyone. She does. So yeah, she kills Josh. She also kills the cop car. She kills the cop car. She kills the cop in the cop car, which I'm really confused about how that happened.
That's what happens when in your screenplay you have a cop sit with the person who's been arrested in the back of the cop car.
Right.
Which doesn't happen.
It doesn't ever happen. So again, I'm trying to cut this movie as much slack as I can. Like, here's my third good thing about it. They do catch this bitch pretty early on.
Straight away.
Yes. Yeah. So I mean, after he's been disgraced from the swim meet or whatever.
Which let's just give some love to this one fantastic line that I had to write down because not even Dan Hedaya can save this. Steroids are banned at this school, Ben. Yes, I'm pretty sure that they're actually banned. Not just in the school, probably generally. Prescription steroids are probably frowned upon in general.
This school specifically is where they're banned from. You can go do it at East Compton High, but not here. And bring it on, reference.
Very nice. I like it.
So he goes, basically his friends all leave him because she tells fucking Amy that they fucked. And then all of his friends hate him. He has no friends. He has no swimming career anymore, which by the way, he never gets back.
No, that was kind of interesting.
Yes, but we'll talk. Yeah, the ending is kind of a downer, honestly.
I did actually like the scene where she tells Amy because he's got this master plan that he's going to come clean. He tries to tell Amy, but she's like, hi, I'm working.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to get out of here. We'll talk in the morning. But I didn't love anything about this movie. I didn't mind where he shows up the next morning and it's wordless. It's just done with a musical kind of overture. Yeah. And you see her crying and his friends look really disappointed and they won't talk to him. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay. That's actually a pretty decent sequence. We all know what happened. And then it cuts to him going outside and they just literally have a conversation about how he fucked this other chick and he's sorry. Yes. And I'm just like, movie, you don't need this scene. We already know.
I know. But again, this is the movie and the director saying, well, this audience is stupid, just like me. So I'm gonna spell it out for them in case they didn't get what just happened.
High school kids are stupid. They sleep with girls who not girlfriend, and then they don't understand how movie works. So I spell it out.
Yes. Can we talk about the sex scene really quick before we go into her murdering these cops?
Yeah. Okay. So we're dialing it back. So she can't swim.
Which I thought was a joke. I thought that was a seduction technique.
I also thought that because it doesn't make any sense. If you don't swim, guess what? You don't get in the pool.
No!
I know lots of people who can't swim. They don't get in pools. And they definitely don't go to the deep end.
And they don't want to fuck in the pool. If anything, I feel like the pool would be the least sexy place for them to get fucked.
Yeah. Sex in pools, not recommended. Just as a general hygiene kind of deal, not good.
Yeah, well, also, yeah. I mean, and water does not act as a lube. It dries out your skin. So really, any natural lubrication her vagina was producing is, I'm assuming, drying out in the chlorine pool.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential friction. There's a lot of potential infection-y stuff going on in there. The sex, I don't think, happens quite as easily as they maybe make it seem in this Hollywood production. where she just reaches into his pants and compliments his penis size, and then they just kind of insert and thrust.
Well, and that was okay. So I remember watching this with my parents and my sister, I guess, who was like
oh shit.
Remember, we rented this movie because it was a PG-13 movie that we were allowed to watch. You know, we couldn't watch R-rated movies, and this scene is kind of, I mean, there's thrusting. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen This Film Is Not Yet Rated, the documentary on the MPAA system.
I have. It's great.
Yeah, it's amazing. And there's a thrust counter. And I'm like, I'm watching this movie over the weekend and I'm like, I feel like there's a couple thrusts in here. I mean, it's not him thrusting, it's her thrusting on him, like riding his dick in this pool. But I was just like, I'm kind of surprised. But I do love her line, though, where she's like, oh, it'll be our little secret. And then she reaches into his pants. Ooh, maybe not so little. And then she just like situates herself on his penis and just goes to town. It's insane.
I mean, that one at least is kind of like, I mean, it's an obvious joke, but it's kind of amusing at least.
I mean, yeah, like it earned a chuckle from me. And again, like Erika Christensen game with this horrible dialogue that she's given.
Yeah, she's trying to work it.
Anyway, I just wanted to say like that I was kind of shocked at how, I mean, it's not a graphic scene. There's no nudity, but like for a PG-13 teen-centered movie, like, you know, usually like you just fade out once. Like, they're making out, and it fades out, and it cuts to the next scene. Like, that's what normally happens. This movie went with thrusting, or whatever it is that girls do.
And I sent you a funny thing. So if you look at the IMDb page for this movie, under the PG-13 rating, it does say for the parental guide, 2 people have sex briefly in a pool. The woman is covered on top, and nothing is seen below. The water obscures most everything, and it is not really clear what they are doing. It is mostly implied.
It is mostly implied.
Like, okay, yes, it is mostly implied because you're not seeing his dick go into her vag.
Yeah.
But unless you are like an abstinent religious person who maybe doesn't have access to the internet, you do know what is happening in there.
It's like oh.
They're not treading water, people. Just a heads up.
Yeah, it is something to behold. So, I mean, I don't know if this scene's on YouTube, but listeners, y'all should just go find this scene because it's kind of mind-boggling that it made it past the MPAA into this movie.
Yeah, watch this and watch like the finale. And then if you want like the extreme chuckles, then watch the part where she plays Dr. Evil Killer and she's stalking the halls of the hospital after she tries to run Amy with her car.
Yes, I actually do like that scene of the tracking shot of like just her walking through the hallway and how they trick her. I think that's really good too.
I would have liked it if it hadn't seemed like there was literally no one in that hospital, because I was like, this is the emptiest hospital I've ever seen.
Well, I know. You got to suspend disbelief. Okay, so because she's wearing a hospital coat, and is she actually a volunteer there, though?
I got the impression that it was like a costume that she used to infiltrate. Like that's how she got her prescription steroids. That's how she swapped them out so that he got fired.
Okay, see, I thought, yeah. So because when he sneaks into her house and he finds the shrine of him and he finds the steroids and then he finds a doctor coat. Literally, she has all of her things in one place for him to conveniently find.
She's basically a serial killer. She's like, here's my box of tokens that I've like taken from all my crimes.
Yes, exactly. But it says volunteer on the coat. So then I was like, oh, so on top of playing the cello and pulling all-nighters, you know, sending these emails.
These 80 topless emails. Yeah, she's also a candy striper, obviously.
Yes, and she volunteers at the hospital and she's doing all of her schoolwork. She's making good grades. She's also fucking boys. Keeping up a relationship with Josh for a little while.
Yeah, having time to kill him and drag his body into the pool.
Making best friends with Amy, making sure they're on good terms until, you know, she breaks the news to her.
Yeah. And keeping her hair perfect.
Perfect. She also volunteers at the hospital, just in case it comes in handy.
So what this movie is telling us is that technology is bad, and the people who seem to be doing a ton of shit with their time are actually crazy serial killers.
It's also making a statement about women. Women, you can do whatever you set your mind to. And there are no limits. You know, you can do anything.
Although you may end up drowned in a pool at the end of it all.
Because you can't swim. And you literally take the girl you're trying to kill to a fucking pool right where you might die. Oh, it's so stupid.
All of the pool stuff, I was just like, I get it. It's a movie called Swimfan. And they're obviously going to lean into this idea that he needs to use his best asset, which unfortunately is not wearing a Speedo, because there's just not enough Speedo wearing in this
There
movie.
are not. Actually, hey, logical question again. Swim fan. But she's not a fan of swimming. If she's addicted to, like, jocks, why is she going to go for the one guy that is, like, doing the thing that she literally cannot do? I don't know.
Like, girl, watch Unbreakable. Don't go near the water if you don't know how to swim, because that's how you die. That is your weakness.
It's just, I mean...
Take your tan trench coat and stay away from the water.
I actually would have liked it if they put, like, water wings on her, if she was, like, wearing those as she was holding Sherry Appleby in the wheelchair, just like those things they put on babies.
Yeah, she's like, I'm not going near that water. She's got, like, a noodle in one arm and, like, the water wings in the other.
When she pushes her, she wheels her chair into the water, she, like, uses her toe to, like, inch her along the way.
Well, even, like, why not stay further away and use the pool cleaner that you are then using to try to murder him?
I laughed out loud when she was using the fucking skimmer to, like, bash him over the head.
Yeah, it was great. But then he kept coming up in the same spot. I was like, there's an entire pool.
Right?
Go further away.
Move back. Like, I don't even... And also, she was stupid for standing so close to the edge when she knew that he could have grabbed the skimmer and pull her into the water, which is exactly what he does.
Yeah, she's supposed to be a super smart person with all kinds of conniving plans. She didn't really think this one through all that well.
Well, and that's the thing, too. Like, in that moment when you're like, oh... Because, again, you don't realize for the whole movie that she actually can't swim until she's in the water and she just drowns, which is one of the most anticlimactic endings like that this movie could have had, honestly.
Well, especially when you think that it's a fake, that she does actually know how to swim, it would make sense for him to be like, okay, well, I'm not a killer. I'm going to dive in and I'm going to try to save this girl, even though she's a crazy bitch and she's trying to ruin my life. And then it could be that she, like, tries to grab onto him because she doesn't know how to swim. And then he, like, shrugs her off because she's crazy. And then she drowns. But instead, they literally just sit there and watch her drown.
Yeah. No, well,
you guys are murderers now.
Also, I don't think he knows how to give CPR properly because he just breathes in Amy's mouth. He doesn't, like, do any chest compressions. And I was kind of concerned about that, to be honest. But yeah, then they start making out. Or, like, kissing while Madison...
Well, she's just floating in the pool.
Well, I think she's still struggling for a little bit while they're kissing. And then they just finish and they look and they just see, yes, they see her floating body.
This sequence actually did work for me, though, as a climax. Like, it made logical sense that they end up back at the pool.
Yeah.
And I kind of liked how sadistic it was that she doesn't even try to speechify. She's just like, I've got your girlfriend... Here, save her. She's handcuffed to this chair. And honestly, the scene where Amy goes head first into the pool and can't brace herself because she's handcuffed, like when she hits the water, I was like my notes are like, ow, that looks painful. And then she's actually knocked unconscious.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also because, you may know about this better than I do, but, like, you know, when you're falling that, because it's a deep ass pool, her ears are probably in a lot of pain because of the pressure.
I mean, maybe.
She can't pop her ears.
Like, you can dive into the pool, so...
Yeah, but, like, if you swim to the bottom of a pool and you don't pop your ears, it fucking hurts, right?
No.
Okay, whatever, we're moving on.
Not in my experience.
Well, I think that's a thing, and I think you're wrong, so we're gonna move on.
Trace, it's a moment of truth. Do you know how to swim?
I do know how to swim, but when you go deep in a pool, your ears hurt because of the pressure, so you have to pop your ears. You know, when you grab your nose and you blow?
But, like, Olympic divers off the 10-meter don't do that.
Whatever. Maybe my ears are sensitive. I'm right. Anyway.
Okay, so this week's reader response is, folks, do you need to pop your ears when you dive into a pool? Please tweet at Trace.
If it's 5 feet, no. But if it's like a 12-foot deep pool and you go to the bottom of the 12 feet, yes, you do. You totally do.
Yeah, no, I'm not buying this.
Okay. Whatever.
Moving on.
I like looking at my notes. Like, I'm like, he doesn't do CPR properly. Yeah, but like when they're fucking, I have in my notes in all caps, she can't swim with 3 question marks. And then I was like, oh wait, no, she's fine. Yeah, it's a joke. And then when she's drowning, I have in my notes in all caps, wait, she can't actually swim with a bunch of question marks after it.
She would have been clawed onto him during that sex scene, because if you can't swim and you're in a pool, having someone thrust into you to keep you afloat is not going to cut it. She would have been like a cat in water.
Yes, exactly. So it's no one thought about this at all when they were making this movie. Listening to that commentary, it's like, I don't know if they really thought they were making something really good or if they're just putting on an act for the commentary. But man, it really sounds like they thought they were making some high quality cinema here.
I mean, even the part, to rewind a little bit, when they catch her in the underground parking lot, like, she doesn't even confess on tape, and they all act like they've got her. And then the cop shows up and he's like, oh, she's going to go away for this. And I'm like, you're a cop. You don't get to actually say stuff like that. And also, you're the person who has believed this other kid to be the evil villain the entire movie, despite only meeting him for one scene. Like,
yes. So,
like, the characters are so thinly sketched, and they make all of these weird proclamations that don't make any sense at all.
I had questions about the catching scene. So, he goes and he finds her past, and basically, like, Amy's in the hospital because Madison tried to run her over.
Yes, but apparently when you run her over, you don't then just finish the job. You let them take the person to the hospital, and then you try again.
Well, yeah. So, yeah, Amy's like, she pulls a City of Angels on her because Amy's riding her bike. Amy's riding her bike.
Amy's got her hand stretched out. She's praying to Nicolas Cage.
But like, yeah, so Erika Christensen like goes up and drives behind her and hits her bike. But like before anything happens, like, it cuts away. So you didn't even see what happens. But, whatever. She was run over by this car, ends up in the hospital. So Madison's going to go kill her. But Ben figures it out because the mom calls him and says, Amy's in the hospital. The best part, though, is that Erika Christensen runs over Amy in Ben's car or something, disguised as Ben because she's wearing his hat.
Yeah. And there are multiple witnesses who can't figure out that she looks literally nothing like him. But apparently, he's been framed for attempted murder.
And the mom's like, they think it was you. And he's like, I'm in New York. Like, I don't even know what to say to that.
And then he runs out of time on the payphone.
Yes. And that's the payphone thing.
Dun, dun, dun.
I mean, this movie really could have used some better music cues, I'm just going to say. But instead, we get some like weird pop music and also a lot of metal, which is very out of place.
Oh my God, the metal. I loved the metal.
I mean, if you're going to do the metal when she's doing something bad shit insane, do it. Like, that makes sense. But honestly, like, I don't know. It was like a half Cruel Intentions soundtrack mixed with the Resident Evil, like the first movie soundtrack. That's what this sounded like to me.
Well, and because at this time, soundtracks were actually still sellable. So they probably were like, let's put a bunch of new metal on. When this movie hits big, we are going to have our #1 album. I'm making like thug hand motions or something. Yeah. But yeah, my favorite music cue was actually right at the very end, where it's a terrible band that sounds kind of like if Creed had even less talent. They're called The Gentle Waves, and the song is called Falling from Grace, and it's all about building a wall around you. And that was the finale song.
Oh.
When they're like getting in the car and driving away. It's like super soulful.
Oh, but it makes sense though, because he fell from grace. Is that what you think? That's why they did it. Oh my God. Like, it's so deep.
It's really deep.
So yeah, Amy's in the hospital and Erika Christensen is going to go kill her. I don't know what her plan is. Is she going to stab her? She's a scalpel, doesn't she? Isn't that what she has?
She has a scalpel, like, conveniently alongside with her volunteer coat that she had in the car because she was planning on Amy ending up in the hospital the whole time.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay, so assuming she wanted her in the hospital and wasn't just going to kill her. Mm-hmm. So she's now going to the hospital to kill her with the scalpel and expect to get away. Okay.
Yes, in a hospital.
Yes.
Where there's no one.
And then she starts hearing over the pager that they are paging for her ex-boyfriend, the one that's in a coma. And then
Jake Donnelly.
And then, the editing comes in and like it does like the jump cuts. And Jesse Bradford is there dressed up in Jake Donnelly's leather jacket and I think a hat?
No, it's her brother.
Oh, it's her brother. Yes. I'm sorry. No,
Charlie.
Her cousin, not a brother.
Oh, is it?
I think it's her cousin.
I couldn't even pay enough attention to it.
She, the relationship between her and her cousin reminded me of something. Oh, It reminded me...
Incest?
Well, yes, but it reminded me of The Hand That Rocks the Cradle whenever Rebecca De Mornay, like, talks down to the mentally handicapped gardener guy.
Mm-hmm.
That is literally what that reminded me of, because I thought that her cousin was mentally challenged.
Oh, yeah. It's like the film can't decide whether or not he's a social introvert or if he's like a little slow.
Yeah.
And the fact that it can't settle on it is offensive.
Yes, it is. And that poor actor. So he like leads her through the halls. No one stops them or like does anything. And for some reason, they convince this nurse on the PA system to still keep paging for Jake Donnelly.
Yeah, like 2 minutes of Jake Donnelly.
Like paging Jake Donnelly. And he leads her into the parking garage where he unmasks himself. And she's like, I don't know, says something offensive to him.
And then she tries to kill him.
Yeah. But then Ben comes out, right? I just watched this movie like 3 days ago and I've already forgotten what happens.
Yeah, he stops her and holds the knife to her throat.
Yes! And I'm like, what?
You're like, oh, is he going to kill her? Like right here in this public parking lot in front of her brother, cousin, incest lover?
Yeah, and then she like kind of confesses, but like not really to everything. Like,
yeah, she's like, oh, it was all for you, Ben, blah, blah, blah. Like some Omen, Hand That Rocks the Cradle shit.
Yes.
But like nothing that could ever hold up in the court of law.
No. And so then the black friend, who has had maybe 2 lines in this entire movie.
Yeah, my notes literally say, black friend.
She like comes up from behind a car.
Because she does not have a name.
Well, and here's the thing. She comes up from like behind a car with a video camera. And I'm like, did you get any footage? Because you came out from behind this thing. Like, what were you shooting? Were you shooting the pillar?
She was shooting through like multiple car windows to really get like an artistic lens. She's probably going to use it for her college application.
Yeah. You're making for film school, obviously. So yeah, they're like, oh, gotcha. And then everyone comes out from behind the cars because they're all just standing down there waiting for her big confession. Which my question is, how did he convince his friends to do this? Because last we checked in with them, they weren't fans of him.
And he's wanted for Amy's murder at this point.
Yeah, I mean, attempted murder, but yeah, for sure. So, again, establishing scenes that might have benefited this movie. I mean, it would have just made it longer, which probably would have been worse, but, you know.
Well, it does make me wonder, like, there's just so many things that don't make sense, and some of it is dumb. Like, why does the cop end up riding with her so that she can then get the gun and shoot both of them? You know, that kind of stuff doesn't make sense. But like the revelation that she's dating Josh and that they're like having sex in his car, and then he just says like, oh, everything that Ben said about you is true, and walks away and she murders him. Like, all of that stuff, happens way too quickly, but it also just doesn't happen with any establishing parameters like what you're saying.
Right.
So, like, things just happen and you're like, wait, but what? Like, are there scenes that were cut out? Were they just not written? Like, did people think that this would flow better than it does?
Also, her main method of killing is bashing people over the head, because I'm assuming that's what she did to Josh.
Yeah, with the baseball bat.
Yes. And then she does the same thing to Ben's mother with a trophy.
Mm-hmm, with a trophy. Which again, like, so why doesn't she kill his mom? Like that's where I was like, oh, the body count, here we go. And it's like, why does she just hit his mom? And like, even why doesn't she take both him and Amy to the pool? Like, why doesn't she have them both tied up?
Oh,
like,
that better.
All these things that just don't make sense where you're like, why would she leave him to wake up on the floor and be like, I'm sure he'll know to come to the Jennifer's body pool and find me?
Dude.
Like, that's obvious, right?
That's a better movie. Like, honestly, yeah, having both of them tied to a wheelchair, or she has Amy and the mom tied to a wheelchair and he has to pick which one lives, like a Batman Forever situation with Robin and Dr. Chase Meridian.
Like, we just improved this movie by 25%, and we're literally just sitting here making fun of it.
Yeah. So she gets arrested. She gets in the cop car. They stop at a railroad crossing, and shoots the cop because he's sitting in the back seat with her for some reason. Mm-hmm. And she kidnaps Amy from the hospital somehow.
Yep. Oh, no. So this was maybe my most favorite part of this entire movie. So Ben goes to see Amy, and you're like, okay, that's nice. He's going, like, he just got Madison arrested. He goes upstairs out of the parking lot or out of the parking garage to visit her, and And then you're like, wait, this set doesn't look right. And that's when I was like, oh, the sets in this movie, like they're all just garbage. They all look the same. This looks like a bedroom. And then after he leaves, he closes the door. She was in a guest bedroom or in his room of the house. And then he walks down the stairs. And that's when he's like, oh, this door is open. Oh, I'm getting beamed in the head with a trophy after I discover mom. And you're like, what hospital releases a car accident victim, not even to her own family, to her boyfriend's family? Like, you're just like, no movie, no. This is stupid and it doesn't make any sense and I'm really mad.
Look, I get it. This is a stupid fucking movie. It's a garbage piece of shit. I'm not trying to say it needs to be logical. I mean, whatever makes the end credits come faster, like, more power to it. But come on, movie. Did no one, not in the script stage, not the producers or the studio when they read it, not the director, not even the actors who, like, when they're doing their fucking acting method, whatever it is, say, how would this happen?
Can I just raise a little red flag about my character? I've got a note. Can I just take a note?
Shut up, Erika.
On this?
Shut up. Stupid. Just act crazy, bitch.
Also, should my hair be getting bigger as the movie goes on?
Dude.
Because why is it not getting bigger? Why doesn't it get big? Like, it should be urban legend Rebecca Gayheart big.
You are so right. Because she has the curly hair. It needs to be like a fro by the end of this movie. You are totally right. I mean, again, even Fatal Attraction, Glenn Close's hair gets more poofy as that movie goes on.
Because that's the perennial sign of a crazy stalker lady is big fucking giant hair.
Yes. So anyway, so she kidnaps Amy, and at least it kind of makes sense on how, because she doesn't carry her to the pool. She wheels her in a wheelchair. But again, how does no one see her wheeling this girl to the school? Even if she got her in the car first, too, which I'm just like, how does all this happen, dude? Like, this girl cannot do this. Whatever. And yeah, then the big finale happens. She pushes Amy into the pool. Amy sinks to the bottom. Ben goes after her. And Madison hits him with a skimmer. And she falls in. She drowns. How does he get the handcuffs off of Amy? Oh!
He has the pin.
Yes.
Or sorry, a paper clip.
No. It's the hairpin, the music note hairpin that Madison gave him to unlock her locker with.
Right.
Yes. Which he apparently kept this entire time.
Because, when someone that you actively don't like that you think is ruining your life gives you something, you keep it on your body all the time.
And he's able to unlock the handcuffs with this hairpin while 12 feet underwater.
Yeah. In like 2 seconds.
Yeah. So yeah, that's your climax. It's a thing that exists. And then, yeah, it just cuts forward like, what, a month, maybe?
Yeah.
And
I think a couple of weeks at least.
Yeah, and he's watching a swim meet because he can't participate because, remember, his urine tested positive for steroids. And
and the school does not condone steroids.
Exactly. Yes, that school specifically does not condone steroids. And then he runs outside, kisses Amy, and they drive away. But they kind of don't look that happy, to be honest.
No. And, like, let's get real here. Those two would have broken up immediately.
Oh.
Like, there's no way she's like, thanks for saving my life. Let's drive away to college somewhere?
They don't make it to college. Like, no. Like, they break up. Like, absolutely. And also, this is assuming he even goes to college. Because he was going to go on a swim scholarship. And that's not happening.
He probably didn't even finish high school.
So yeah, that's Swimfan.
So that's Swimfan, the movie that I picked because I wanted to see boys in swimsuits.
And there is one shot, like the camera's in the pool, it's an underside shot when, oh my god, what's his name? Jesse Bradford. Ben? Yes, Ben dives into the pool and like you can kind of see some pubes. That's the bulk of the male skin that you get in this movie. You get a little bit of pube.
I love that you're on pube patrol.
Well, I mean, I was just looking, like, you kept talking up the Speedos in this movie, and man, there were not a lot.
Well, there's the one scene where Madison randomly shows up on the pool deck so that she can reveal that she's been dating Josh, and he, like, gives her a kiss, and then Jason Ritter's character just randomly introduces himself, like, hey, you should know me, and you're like, what? Why timing. This is not the right time to be doing this.
I had it in my notes. I was like, why is Jason Ritter flirting with her? And why is she wearing this red burgundy leather skirt thing?
Yes. Yeah. And then that's not even the same scene where she then goes into the locker room to be like, I thought you loved me. Didn't we do this together? And you're just like, who edited this?
Well, yeah, it's yes. There's a lot of problems with this movie. I mean, in case you couldn't tell, this movie's terrible. Are there any other things you want to comment on with this dumpster fire?
I mean, we're really ragging on it. It's not like you watch it and you're just like, oh my God, this movie is fucking awful. It's really just, this movie should be campy fun. And it almost seems like it knows it should be, but it just refuses to accept it. And as a result, like, it's not terrible, but it's not a fun watch.
And that's the thing, too. So if you're listening to this and you're like, why is this queer horror podcast I'm listening to talking about Swimfan, a movie that is not queer and quote unquote not horror, but that's, I'm not going to get in that debate with you. A, we thought it was going to be campier. B, there were half-naked boys promised all over it. Mm-hmm. And while it didn't really deliver, that's not our fault.
Yeah. Don't punish us.
It is the movie's fault that it did not fit our theme for the week. Yeah, I mean, you're right. It should have been campier. It could have been campier. It would have been immensely more entertaining. It would have been good. Like, nothing's going to make this good. But God, if they would have just leaned into those campy aspects, it could have been just fun. I'm not asking for showgirls here. I'm just asking for just something fun to watch. And it's not fun.
No. Okay, so out of curiosity, this kind of echoes back to our piece on Sliver, which has a similar sort of forbidden sexual encounter voyeurism with like escalating body count. Which one would you say is more enjoyable?
I would. Oh God, they're both really boring. My thing with Sliver was like Sliver was boring as fuck, but I guess I would say Sliver because at least you have those crazy sex scenes, specifically the column sex.
Oh my God, I love the columns.
The column sex is so funny. If y'all have never seen Sliver, for the love of God, I mean, it's terrible, but go watch it. It's so funny. There is some batshit sex in that movie. Yeah, I would probably say Sliver. I mean, again, it's like lesser of two evils for me, so it's just is what it is. Like, which pile of shit is prettier?
Basically. Yeah. All right. So is it time for the game?
Yeah, you can give me a game.
Okay. So I gave you the heads up on this because it involved like neurons to think about. So you get your pick. You can either develop a new tagline. Oh, because actually we should read out some of the taglines because the taglines are almost better than the movie.
Yes, agreed. So go ahead because I don't have them in front of me.
Yeah. And of course I don't have them in front of me either.
Well,
so
that's really your fault for being unprepared. Editing.
No, now I'm going to keep that in just so that people can hear how terribly you treat me.
Yep. Well, whatever.
You're mean. You're mean to me. You're mean to me all the time.
You made me watch this movie, so who's really the worst person here?
Erika Christensen.
God, that poor girl. Well, you know what? She made out okay. I mean, honestly, she's doing better than both. Well, I was going to say both Sherry Appleby and Jesse Bradford, but Sherry Appleby, honestly, with Unreal, is doing pretty well for herself.
Yeah, I would say Sherry Appleby and then Erika Christensen, and then like, where is Jesse Bradford? Have you even seen him? Well, you said you saw him in that episode of Teachers, which is a TV Land comedy. And it's not even a starring role.
No, I mean, he was like a guest star. And also that show's starting its final season in like 2 weeks. But I mean, who knows what's happened to him, man.
Sad.
Jason Ritter's doing well. I watched a movie yesterday called The Tale with Laura Dern. Have you seen it?
No, I know all about it, though.
Dude,
it's amazing.
Dude. Like, my husband put it on because it's like on our list to watch, and I didn't know what it was about. And fucking Jason Ritter as a crazy pedophile and really creepy.
Yeah, is that a spoiler?
No, because it's based on a true story.
Okay, but is it evident from like the very beginning that that's what it's about?
I mean, he has like one scene, and in the second scene, he kind of starts grooming her vagina.
Okay, you're not allowed to reference female anatomy.
I mean, there are some really uncomfortable child sex scenes in that movie. It's really good, like the movie itself, but holy shit. Not knowing what it was when I walked into it was probably not the best thing.
Okay, yeah. So what you're saying is do a double bill of that and The Kindergarten Teacher.
Oh God, yes. I do want to see. I haven't seen it, but I do want to see it.
Okay, taglines. Taglines for Swimfan. She's dying to have fun. obsession, betrayal, revenge. Some girls have all the fun. A lot of fun. They seem to mistake what fun is. Want to pretend that it never happened?
That's the worst one. I hate that one.
It's like, what is that? That's like a bad line of dialogue that they cut from the script.
No, that is one of her lines. Like, where she's like, so you want to pretend like it never happened? Like, that's one of her lines.
Oh, that's right. She said it in the locker room. Oof.
Yeah. Yeah. Stupid.
Okay. It's murder getting the man you want.
That one's fun.
Which is like, maybe, but that's for like an adult one. That's not for this movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Hold your breath.
Okay.
Just like, maybe. And then there's like one other one that's like really, really obvious.
Okay.
It's something like Ben Cronin has the perfect life and she's like out to destroy it or something.
No, that's the actual tagline on the poster. It's, Ben.
Is that the real one?
Yeah, it's Ben Cronin had the perfect life until he met the new girl in school or something. It's really stupid.
Yeah, which is probably also the safest, so.
Yeah. So, okay. So I did come up with a handful of taglines. I'll try to pick like the best ones.
Okay.
So first, just like hold your breath, I did check your urine.
This podcast does not condone the use
of steroids.
Of
prescription steroids in this school.
Yeah.
I have Ben Cronin has a not so little secret. That's a reference to his penis. Okay. I was proud of this one. She'd kill to be a part of your world. Like Little Mermaid, because she swims in water. Yeah. No? I thought that was funny.
No, I but she doesn't swim.
Well, I know, but it's like a water thing. Whatever. I have her love holds no water.
That is a dad tagline. That's like a dad groaner joke.
Yes. And then my last one is it's not very good, but it's this attraction will turn fatal.
In 15 seconds, if you choose to accept this mission.
But like Fatal Attraction.
Yes.
Okay, I was making sure you got that because you jumped to Mission Impossible real quickly.
I was trying to save face for you.
Okay.
Maybe don't end with the weak one.
I thought the part of your world was the best one. Okay. Well,
readers, tweet a Trace which of his mock taglines you like the most.
Yeah, exactly.
Readers. Oh, Jesus. Listeners.
Oh, boom.
Corrections Corner. This is not being delivered to you in written format.
All right. Now, but you said that you had another part of the game too, right?
Yeah. So the other option, if you didn't want to do fake taglines, was to come up with different ratings for the film. So film is rated PG-13 for some sexual content and violence. So
sexual content. Jesus.
So I was going to suggest that we could come up with different ratings for why it was rated PG-13. Mine was LOS, which was lack of Speedo.
Oh, okay. I didn't think of any for this one, but you could do like PS for pool sex.
Yeah, exactly. It's a brief amount of pool thrust.
Oh, yeah. Thrustin'. T for thrustin'.
Yes, this film is rated P for panties left in the truck.
P4. No, panties times 4.
I can't go back to there. I can't go back.
Okay. Well, do you have any other ratings?
No, that's it.
Okay. Then I'm going to do a callback to our Scream episode. Who is the youngest member of the cast?
Ooh. Kate Burton.
Shit. I'm sorry. Of the teenage characters, who is the youngest member of the cast?
I'm going to say Sherry Appleby.
She is the oldest. She was,
damn it. I should have known.
23. The youngest is Erika Christensen, who was 19.
Okay.
And Jesse Bradford was 22. Jason Ritter was 21. And Clayne Crawford was also 23 with Sherry Appleby. Yeah. So yeah, again, that's what I'm saying. That, like, the commentary, like, okay, Erika Christensen is this 19-year-old just off of traffic. Like, she's going to be a nice person on this commentary.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
somehow we've exhausted Swimfan.
And we actually went a lot longer than we thought we were going to.
Well, I mean, the first half was just a series of rapid-fire, incredulous comments like, what the fuck is this? It was good of you to bring us back on track and try to organize it chronologically.
I know. It took us forever just to get to how she got caught. All right. Well, yeah. So that is Swimfan. And it has been another episode of Horror Queers for your listening pleasure. Joe, what do we have coming up next week?
So we have a seminal classic, David Cronenberg's Dead Ringers.
Ooh, I've never seen it.
I have, and I love it. And this one I can unabashedly say I have seen it and actually do love it.
I'm actually kind of excited. I don't know what topic we're discussing with it, like what theme or we're going with, but I'll just choose to be surprised when I watch it.
Oh, Jesus, I just realized it involves gynecology, so it's going to be another hour of you offensively naming lady parts.
Wait, offensively naming it? I'm calling it a vagina.
It's the way you say. Okay, before we go, if you have not already done so and you would like to pledge us a couple of coins, we do have a Patreon account. So you can find it at patreon.com/horrorqueers. And this will still be in January, so we will have episodes on Escape Room and Glass up there.
Yes. If you want to know what we think about it, go to our Patreon.
Exactly. That's how it works.
If you want to, communicate with me and Joe, be it fan mail, hate mail, corrections, just hi, how you doing? You can reach out to us on Twitter. I am at Traced Thurman. That's Trace D as in dog Thurman.
And I am at B Stole My Remote. That's the letter B. Yeah, if you want to send us some flowers for our birthday, even if you don't really know us all that well, you just show up the day after. I'm turning 30 in February, so, just a heads up.
You'll be like Kate Burton aged. Oh, God. I mean, she's still alive and kicking, so here we go.
You're officially only playing the dad role from now on.
Fuck off. Okay, well, Horror Queers out. Oh, we should just start picking a quote from the movies or something.
It's true. This Horror Queer podcast almost had the perfect life until we met Swimfan.
Yes. Boom. Done.
Nice.
Bye.
Get in, losers. This is the Lady Killers, a Feminine Rage podcast. I'm Jen.
I'm Sammy.
I'm Rocco.
And I'm May. Our podcast is a tribute to the female-identifying killers in horror and more.
Each episode will feature us, your Supreme Court of female murderers, discussing our favorite lady killers, from your Julias and Jennifers to your Carries and Christines.
We'll tell her story, decide if it's good for her horror, and answer the most important question of all. Would we die for her?
Join us on Thursdays as we pull on our sweaters, snatch our ice picks, sharpen our scissors, and honor the lady killers who live on the silver screen.
No boys were harmed in the making of this podcast.
Yet.
Hello, I'm Shelby Scott, the host of Scare You to Sleep, a podcast where I tell you spooky bedtime stories full of creepy sound effects and music that is soothing yet unsettling to help immerse you into a world of horror. This is a show for those of us who have realized horror can be a strange but relaxing escape from reality. Speaking of escapes, sometimes I lead you through guided nightmares, like a guided meditation, but instead of flowery meadows, I take you on a journey through your own personal nightmare. So come get lost in the terror with me. Listen to Scare You to Sleep wherever you listen to podcasts, or find us online at bloody.fm. Sweet screams.